A very good afternoon to one and all. In last class, we discussed about network topologies and types of networks. In today's class, will discuss about the OSI reference model and the TCP/IP reference model. First, we will see the OSI reference model. So, OSI reference model. In OSI reference model, the OSI stands for Open System Interconnection. So this OSI reference model is developed by ISO in the year of 1984. ISO is nothing but International Organization of Standardization. So OSI reference model is having 7-layer architecture. It is a 7-layer architecture. Here in OSI reference model, each layer is having its own functionality. That means that 7 layers is having each and every layer having its own work to perform. For example, one layer will transfer the data, and one layer will convert the data into bits, like that. Each and every layer is having its own work. All these 7 layers work collaboratively to transmit the data from one person to another person across the globe. So in the entire world, if you want to communicate one person to another person, these 7 layers will work collaboratively to transmit that data. So here the OSI reference model is a logical model. That means we cannot see that reference or 7 layers physically. It will exist logically. Each and if we are communicating one system to another system, there is a communication. That means there should be a OSI reference model or other any reference models, whether it may be TCP/IP or OSI reference model. There should be a reference model. So here the OSI reference model is a logical model for how system in network should be communicate each other. These 7 layers are: first one is physical layer, second one is data link layer, third one is network layer, fourth one transport layer, fifth one session layer, sixth one presentation layer, and seventh one application layer. So these 7 layers will or bottom up approach. So physical layer, data link layer, the representation should be physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer, or application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, physical layer. The representation should be like this only. So we'll see these layers in diagrammatic representation when two systems are transferring data from one system to another system, how these layers will work, or how these layers will perform its tasks. So first we are sending data from system A to system B. So these 7 layers, first we will see physical layer. Physical layer responsibility is to transmit the data to the system B. So physical layer contain data in the form of bits, that means zeros and ones. So these bits will transfer to the system B's physical layer. Here system B physical layer will transfer that bits to the data link layer. The data link layer responsibility is, if there is any error in the bits, it will rectify that errors, and it will convert that bits into frames. So it is the responsibility of data link layer, and it will transfer to data to the network layer. The network layer will provide the network layer responsibility is that frames will convert into packets. So these packets, so network, and also its responsibility is the network layer will find the shortest path to transfer the data. it is the responsibility of network layer only, and that packets will transfer to the transport layer. The transport layer, that packets we call it as a segments. So the packets will represent in the form of segments. That segments will transfer to the session layer. Session layer will provide the security and check its authentication, and it will send that segments to the presentation layer. Presentation layer will send that data to the application layer. So from that application layer, the receiver who are accessing or working with the system B will access the data. Like that, from system B to system A, the data will transfer from application layer to presentation layer. From presentation layer, it will take the data from application layer and it will send to the session layer. Session layer will check the authentication, and it will check, it provides the security, and it will send the data to the transport layer. It will divide the data into segments, and it will send the data to the network layer. The network layer, we call it as packets. That packets will send to the data link layer, and data link layer will divide that data to in the form of frames. That frames will transfer to the physical layer. After that, the physical layer will divide that frames into bits, and that bits will transfer to the system A's physical layer. From system A physical layer will transfer that bits into frames, and data link layer will send that data to the network layer. Network layer will change the frames into packets, and that packets will be changed as segments by transport layer. The transport layer will send the segments to the session layer. Session layer will check um, the data and authentication, and it will provide the security, and it will send the data to presentation layer. From the presentation layer, the data will transfer to the application layer. Like this, the information will be exchanged between system A to system B through this OSI reference model. So here the system A and system B should have a protocol. Protocol is nothing but set of rules. So these are each and every system is having its own protocol. So this is the OSI reference model diagrammatic representation. So we'll see one by one, um, 7 layers. So first one is physical layer. Physical layer is the lowest layer of OSI reference model. So the physical layer responsibility is it will connection, actual physical connection between the devices. Here the information will exchange between two systems through the physical layer only, by using one transmission medium, whether it may be rotor, cable, or anything. Through this medium, transmission medium, the data will transfer through the physical layer, physical connection between devices. So the physical layer contain information in the form of bits. So as I said, already told you that the physical layer is having the data in the form of bits, that means zeros and ones. So it is responsible for transmitting individual bits from one node to the next node. And next point is, whenever when receiving data, this layer will get signal received and convert into zeros and ones. So when it will receive the data from the previous layer, that is data link layer. So it receive from data link layer, it will convert the data into zeros and ones. And when it will receive from the data to other physical layer, then it will send the data zeros and ones to the data link layer. And the next one is the data link layer. The data link layer is responsible for transmitting frames from one node to the next node. The data link layer is responsible for node to node delivery of the message. The main function of this layer is to make sure data transfer is error free from one node to another node. So the main functionality of this data link layer is, if there is any errors in the data, it will check whether there is any error or not. It will check if there is any error, it will rectify the error, and it will send the data in the form of frames. So when a packet arrive and as well as when a packet arrive in a network, it is the responsibility of DLL, that means data link layer, to transmit it into host using its MAC address. So data link layer, when it will sending the data, here in diagrammatic representation, when the system A is sending the data to system B, then the data link layer responsibility is to receive the packet from the network layer, and it will divide it into frames, and it will send the data to the physical layer. When the system A is receiving data from the system B, then the responsibility of data link layer is, it will receive the data from the physical layer, and it will divide that, it will check whether there is any error or not, and it will convert that bits into frames. So like this, the data, all these layers will take the data from the previous layer, and it will send the data to the next layer, like that. And third one is the network layer. Network layer works for the transmission of data from the one host to the other located in different networks, and it also takes care of packet routing. That means network layer will check the shortest path to transmit the packet. So network layer is so to transfer the data to the another system, we are having different ways. That means in for example, let us take, we are sending data to the person through the wireless network or wide network. So who are the person exists in Vijayawada. So if we are sending data, the network layer will check the shortest path, in which way we can reach the destination. It will check, and it will send that shortest path. So that path only the data will transfer. So these layers are logical layers, so we cannot see physically, but there is a logical existence. So it will check the shortest path to transmit the packet from the number of routes available. For example, so from our Mailuvaram, let us take Mailuvaram to Vijayawada. We are having two ways. We can go from the Ibrahimpatnam, and we can go from the Velagaleru, that way. So there is a two ways. So by through the Ibrahimpatnam, we can reach the Vijayawada as early, so early. So like that, it will check the shortest path, and that shortest path, the packet will be transferred to the destination. So the next point is, the sender and receiver IP address are placed in header by the network. The sender and receiver's IP address. So when we are with the packet, the IP address of the sender or the receiver's address will place in the packet. In network layer, the address of the sender or receiver will be present in the packet. And the fourth layer is the transport layer. Transport layer provides services to the application layer, takes the takes services from the network layer. Transport layer provides services from the application layer. Application layer is top of the transport layer, and network layer is previous to the or bottom of the transport layer. It will take the services from the application layer and network layer also. The data in transport layer is referred to as segments. So here in transport layer, the data will call it as segments. In network layer, we call it as packets. In data link layer, we call it as frames. In physical layer, we call it as bits. So it is responsible for end-to-end delivery of the complete message. And the transport layer also provides the acknowledgement of successful data transmission and retransmit the data if an error found. The transport layer also provides the acknowledgement of the successful data transmission and retransmit the data if an error is found. So the transport layer it will send the acknowledgement if the data is reached successfully or not. If it is there any packet or any data not delivered to the destination, then it will retransmit the data to the destination, or it will retransmit any error found. And the next layer is a session layer. Session layer is responsible for connection maintenance of the sessions and authentication, and also ensure the security. As I told you, it will provide the authentication and it will ensure the security. And the sixth one is a presentation layer. So the presentation layer is also called as a translation layer. So the presentation layer the data from the application layer is extracted here. The presentation layer will receive the data from the application layer and manipulate it. It will change the data as per the required format to transmit over the network. So this is the second layer, presentation layer, from the top to bottom. So this presentation layer will receive the data from the application layer and it will manipulate that data to the required format to transmit over the network. And the last one is the application layer. Application layer the user actually interact with uh, this application layer only. So the example of application layer is Chrome, Google Chrome, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, or Internet Explorer. These all are under application layer only. So here the user actually interact here. So from that application layer, the data will transfer to the physical layer. So not just browsers, any applications or piece of code or any software such as Outlooks, etc. This is actual stuff that user sees or use to interact with the network messengers, etc. So these 7 layers to transfer data or one single data to the uh, another another system or another device through the network. So these 7 layers work will work its functional it will perform its functionalities. So now we will see the TCP IP reference model. So TCP IP reference model is prior to the OSI reference model. So the TCP IP, the full form of TCP IP reference model is Transmission Control Protocol and Internet protocol. It was designed and developed by Department of Defense in the year of 1960, and it and is based on standard protocols. So this TCP/IP reference model is having four layers. That four layers are in diagrammatic representation. That four layers are application layer, transport layer, internet layer, and a network access layer. These four layers. Application layer will contain um, the application layer in TCP/IP model the approximately the same functionality as the upper three layers, that is application layer and presentation layer, session layer of OSI model. So in TCP/IP reference model we are having only four layers. That four layers will perform the functionalities of seven layers of the OSI reference model. So the application layer will perform the tasks of three layers of the OSI reference model. That three layers are application layer, presentation layer, session layer. So these three layers of OSI reference model tasks will performed by the application layer of TCP/IP model. The internet layer act as the network layer. So the next layer is internet layer. So this internet layer act as the network layer of the OSI reference model, and the network access layer act as the lower two layers of the OSI reference model. So that is the physical layer and data link layer. So nowadays we generally use five layers of the TCP/IP reference model. So that five layers are the network access layer will divided into two layers, that is the physical layer and data link layer. Including the two layers we call it as five layers. So the diagrammatic representation of TCP/IP reference model using five layers are will be here. Here the application layer, presentation layer, session layer is represent in the form of one layer, and transport layer is one layer, and network layer is one layer, and data link layer, physical layer will perform the tasks of will represent this network access layer as two layers. So all layers are we are having in TCP/IP we are having totally five layers. So the application layer, presentation layer, and session layer will perform the task of what is the task of in OSI model, what will be done. Three layers will perform the same task will performed in TCP/IP also. So these layers will have the protocols like SMTP, FTP, Telnet. So that protocols will be represented here. So SMTP, FTP, Telnet, DNS, SNMP, NFS, RPC, TFTP, etc. So these all are protocols used by the application layer in TCP/IP, and the transport layer is having TCP and UDP protocol, and the network layer is having ICMP and IGMP, IP, ARP, RARP protocols. So these protocols will be explained in detail after later explain later classes. So we'll see what is the SMTP, what is the FTP, and what is Telnet. We will see the next classes in detail. So now we'll see the which protocol belongs to the which layer. We'll see, and what is that protocols we'll see in next class. So application, what is the functionalities of these layers we will see one by one. So network access layer. Network access layer in nowadays the network access layer will divided into two layers. One is a data link layer and second one is physical layer. These two layers uh, will be considered as one network access layer. So the network access layer is the combination of physical layer and data link layer defined in the OSI reference model. It defines how data should be sent physically through the network, and this layer is mainly responsible for the transmission of data between two devices on the same network. So this network layer send the data physical through the network. It will send the data physically, and it's responsible for transmission of data between two devices on the same network. And the functions carried out by this layer are encapsulating the IP datagram into frames transmitted by the network and mapping of IP addresses into physical addresses. So the functions, it will transfer that data into, it will change the data into frames and transmitted by the network. And second one is the internet layer. Internet layer is the second layer of the TCP/IP model. An internet layer is also known as network layer. So its responsibility is send the packets from the any network and packets from any network, and they arrive at the destination irrespective of the route they take. So network layer responsibility is same as in OSI reference model. In network layer we call it as data as packets, and it will arrive from any destination irrespective of the route. And third one is transport layer. Transport layer is responsible for reliability, flow control and correction of data which is being sent over the network. What is the flow control and correction of data? Flow control, so we'll see the next class. So transport layer will check whether any errors or not, it will check, and it will send to the network. The two protocols used in transport layer are user datagram protocol and transmission control protocol. So each and in TCP/IP reference model, each and every layer is having some protocols. Transport layer protocol is having UDP and TCP protocols, and application layer protocol is application layer is the topmost layer in TCP/IP model. It is responsible for handling high level protocols, issues of representation like SMTP, FTP, so all those protocols. This layer allow the user to interact with the applications. So this layer will allow user to interact with the application. When one application layer protocol wants to communicate with the another application layer, it forwards its data to the transport layer. So it will take the data from the user, and it will forward the data to the next layer, transport layer. So that transmission of data will be done in TCP IP layer will be like this only. So these two are the OSI reference model and the TCP IP reference model. So OSI reference model, in OSI reference model we are having 7 layers, and each and every layer having its own functionality. So that 7 layers having its own functionality. And in TCP IP we are having 5 layers. In the olden days we are having 4 layers. In nowadays we are having 5 layers. That means the network access layer will be divided into 2 layers. One is physical layer and data link layer. So here also each and every layer having its own functionality. So these will in today's class, uh, these 2 layers. So next class we will see the differences between TCP/IP and OSI reference model. We'll discuss that two things, so we can easily identify the differences. These 2 layers are used to transfer the data only, but what are the differences between these two will discuss next class. So in today's class we discussed about these 2 layers. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.